I played the Marvel Avengers beta earlier, and this is the gameplay from earlier, obviously. I'm playing it as a video. I edited this just to show the basics of what Thor, Iron Man, Cap, Black Widow, and the Hulk can do. So you start off as Thor. I'm trying not to give any of the storyline away whatsoever. And Thor is actually a pretty decent, well-rounded character. At first, I didn't get the impression that the graphics were all that great. But once you actually start playing the game, it actually gets better. I know that seems weird, but the beginning animation I don't feel was done as good as the rest of the game was. So here you get a glimpse of Thor and Iron Man fighting together. You can team up with other heroes in the game. I'm trying not to give any of the storyline away, like I said. Now, this is one of Thor's ultimate powers, as you've seen him use there. You can throw your weapons, use ranged attack, stuff like that. Now, there are scenes where you get different dynamics, like Iron Man flying and fighting here. I had a ton of fun doing this. And I gotta say, this game is absolutely beautiful graphically and play-wise. Now, the next character you play as, after I show you the dynamics of Iron Man, is the Hulk. And I'm going to go into some detail about what you need to know about the Hulk before you play as him, which he actually becomes the main protagonist until you get further on in the game. Him and another girl whose name is I can't pronounce her name because I haven't heard it that much, but it's she goes by Com. So it's easier for people like me to pronounce because I'm not very linguistic in anything other than the English language. I'm not that great. Has nothing to do against her name, but I'm just not great with pronouncing names or anything in other languages, which I do need to work on. But anyway, here you got to see his repulsor blast. You get to see him, doing his basic shooting moves, stuff like that. Nothing overly fancy. This is pretty much how he's going to play in the actual game. Now, you do get different gear throughout the game. This is the Hulk. This, I feel, is important to mention. The Hulk himself, at the very beginning, feels clunky and slow. Namely because he is. But that does not take away from his character later on. Later on, you realize that the Hulk is a really great character. You actually get rage mode with him. You get different powered attacks. He's an amazing character to play with. At first, I was not impressed. And you'll hear that if you watch my other YouTube video, or it was Twitch streamed originally. But if you go to my YouTube, which is Xenomorph first name, Ronan the Last, you will actually see that I was not that impressed with the Hulk at the beginning. The video itself is 1 hour and 43 minutes, and I will be exporting this video to it now. Now, what I do love that they made this game very streamlined. You see the claw marks? Like, you don't have to, there's only one level I've had this problem with. You don't have to really aim for anything. The Hulk is very intuitive. So whenever you click the jump button, he jumps. When you do it with another character, they jump, and that gives you like a quick hint, kind of like other games do. Like hit the A button to, for instance, that Khan, she uses her arms. She can stretch her arms like Mr. Fantastic. But I did not show any gameplay of her in this video, but like I said, you can check out the full YouTube video, or while it's on video on demand on Twitch right here. The difference between my Twitch name and my YouTube name, obviously, is there's no underscore in my YouTube name. That being said, see, it's very mainline, just go where you need to go. Love it. Action-packed right off the beginning, best tutorial I've ever played. Because it's throwing you into action, it's giving you beautiful visuals, and The tutorial's not that bad in this game. I promise. It is the best tutorial that I've ever played. Well, I take that back. Infamous 2 was. The game itself, but the beginning, excellent. Now, like I said, I'm showcasing this part because this is what really got me into the Hulk right here. Kicking the dude away and then chucking a tank at another tank. Bam. Now, next on the list, we have Cap. Like I said, no spoilers, but I'm not happy with what I know so far, and I'll leave it at that. Storyline-wise. Which, by the way, the story, very DC Universe Online similar at the beginning. Instead of exabytes, they use a gas. That's the only spoiler I'll give. But I'm not going to say where the gas is from, if it's good guys or bad guys using it, or what's going on with that. Basically, there is a super soldier serum in the game that's used for some purpose. Alright, Cap's got his very basic Cap powers, but playing as Cap was amazing. Like, the mechanics, you don't get better than that. Black Widow is almost better than Cap. I would say she's on par, if not better. But I just like Cap a lot as a character. I like Black Widow as a character too. But Cap has to be my favorite. Not that weird crap they did with him in Captain America Steve Rogers comic books, where you found out later that it was a little girl that was secretly a cosmic cube. Anyway, that was a weird time in Marvel history. And the Hell Hydra Cap is luckily dead. Although, it would be cool to get that costume if that's unlockable in this game. Which I would have threw that in there as an Easter egg. But see, it's very basic Captain America attacks. And it does have some cool light up red effects, which I feel, I don't know for a fact, plays homage to the fact that he had a laser shield in Captain America Steve Rogers, even though it was closer to his classic look. Now, this is where he shines. But also the end of the Cap clip. And then we go to Black Widow. She fights Taskmaster. Now, this is another dynamic gameplay of it, where she grabs onto him. Now, this was originally Twitch streamed and the app malfunctioned there, that's why it pixelated. But this part is amazing too. It's kind of like how you had the dynamic with Tony Stark, where you're flying and shooting people. She gets the dynamic fighting Taskmaster. And I have to say, this is one of the funnest fights I've ever been in a video game. Now, whenever she lands and fights him, I was a little confused on what to do. And to be honest, I'm not really sure how I defeated him in the first place. And I do cut the clip because it's a little long, the fight scene. But, like I said, it's included in that YouTube video. And on the video on demand on Twitch right now. Just labeled Avengers Beta. And the title of the Twitch stream VOD should be Assemble. Now, this is what I mean. You keep dodging, shooting, and this part dragged on forever. I have no idea, like I said, how I got the cutscene to start, but eventually I did. But I did cut this short just so you could see a little bit of the battle. I can see some bullets did penetrate there, looking back. So, yes, very, very nice battle there. Oh, yes, and I do remember that during the battle you could hit his backpack with the guns. So I guess that's actually how I did it. I think I even mentioned that in the actual video. Now, the fight with Taskmaster leads to a very, very important key point in the storyline. So, I show you a little bit of the battle, but I do not show you the cutscene. Because if I showed you the cutscene, you would know the importance of what happens in the game. And that's like I said, if you don't want to know any spoilers, but you want to know my personal feelings, Captain America, Black Widow feel like they have the best mechanics. Iron Man was a blast to play as. Thor is fun, and the Hulk has to grow on you, in my opinion. But there are Easter eggs all throughout the game from the Marvel Universe. There's Miss Marvel references. There's references to AIM, which is actually a pretty big player in this game, which is Tony Stark comic book enemy and kind of an enemy in Iron Man 2. The CEO is, but they actually do play a bigger role in the Marvel universe than in just the cinematic universe. The cinematic universe, they were a side story. But they're, in my opinion, almost as big as Hydra in the comics. But as you can see, like, the battle with this dude is awesome. And he makes a comment here that he has photographic reflexes. So whenever you see him throw a shield, anyone he has observed, he can copy their fighting style. He can copy Captain America's fighting style, anybody's fighting style. Black Widow defeats him most of the time when she fights against him. At least comic book wise. Now, if you ever played the Spider-Man game, and once again, I mentioned this in the video on demand and the YouTube export of it. In the Spider-Man game, he watches you do challenges, and then you can fight him alternatively. So he's trying to learn Spider-Man's moves so that he can defeat him in battle in the Spider-Man game. Another cool thing, and I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but if you order this game on a system and then you upgrade to one of the new systems, and it made me go through an incredibly weird sign-in process. So I basically told it to send me an email because I already have a Square Enix account. That's how I log into Final Fantasy VII on Steam. And it did not send me an email. I am playing on Xbox, and I actually did stream it earlier. I'm just giving a review of it at the moment. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be playing more of this game. Highly recommended. It does have a very DC Universe Online-esque story, but it has an amazing story, amazing gameplay, and the Hulk does grow on you. So if you like what you saw here tonight, be sure to give me a follow at Xenomorph_Ronin. And you can also check out my YouTube, links in the description below. Xenomorph first name, Ronin as the last. Alright, have a good night, everybody.